All right, I've got DSantos on the phone. He's another musician that reached out about the interview series. So I'm going to go ahead and give him the chance to introduce himself.
Hey, hello everybody. Thanks, Alexander, for the opportunity to come and just share a little bit of like my music background and my art as well. And well, my name is DeSantos. I'm from Brazil. I'm 30 years old, and I've been living in Minnesota for about 5 years now. It's kind of crazy, like the way I got to Minnesota, but yeah, I love Minnesota, to be honest. Like the weather, like people, the music scene especially, and yeah, it's been like a blessing to live over here.
All right, well, we're definitely happy to have you here. So let's kind of talk about how music all started for you. Tell me about what the situation was like when you kind of first came in contact with music. What about it do you feel connected with your personality?
Well, I started like in music. That was like I'm 30, so I think it was about when I was nine, like 8, 9 years old. I started doing bass, so like studying bass, and then I started like playing. Bass was the first instrument that I started playing, and then after that, I decided to that I wanted like to learn how to play guitar, and then I played guitar as well, and then after that, it was kind of funny because I started playing instruments music, but like writing, it was just like poems. You know, I started like I have a whole bunch like poems back home, and then in music, I started writing back in 2022. It was after just like hitting the rock bottom in life, and then I decided like I don't know, just have to do something to get my thoughts out of my mind because it was like really, really, really heavy. Like I was like, nah, I need like to have somebody to talk, but I didn't have it, like anybody to talk to vent. So I decided just writing music, and then that was the way that I saw, like let's say, the light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay, so you mentioned a couple of things there that I'm curious about. The first one being, you mentioned that you learned to play bass straight off, and then you started making music around that. Was it entirely just you playing bass and then like putting vocals to some bass guitar, or give me a little bit of definition of what you mean by that?
Oh, so it was just like I started taking classes, and it was just like to be part of a band. I had like two bands back home, and then both of them didn't work out because we were not like on the same page. It was like the guitar leader and it was the drummer. Just like the three of us wanted to keep going, but the rest of the band didn't want it. They just wanted like to play for fun, and then our ideas were not connecting. So we decided like just to split up, and everyone just like decided to follow their own path. And then when I started like studying guitar, it was for like the same reason as well. Because back then I just had instruments, but I didn't have like no equipments to record. And also like in Brazil, it's like things are really, really expensive for like if you want to get like a guitar, if you want to buy a bass. So it was really strict for me, So, and then writing, it was after I came to the US, because when we had a band, we had the guy who was like writing the lyrics and everything, and then we would just like hop in with the instruments. But like the songwriting for me started back in 2022.
Okay, so a little bit there you touched base on what my other question was going to be. You mentioned that you got started back home, which you said was Brazil. So tell me a bit about what the music scene is like in Brazil. Is it kind of the similar way that things happen in like Minneapolis, where you just kind of go on Craigslist and find people to work with and then book local venues to play shows? Or is there kind of a different atmosphere in the Brazilian music scene?
So this scenario, it's more about like funk music, like that's what people in Brazil listen often. And also we have a genre called pagode, which is basically similar than samba, and it's also popular over there. But as an artist, when we were trying like to book venues, to find places to go and play, it was really tricky because it's not like a lot of places that gave us opportunities. I remember like in a band with my first band, we had about 3 4 like concerts that we were just like doing openings, and then that was about it. With my second band, we were not like as successful as my first one because we just got like about 2 gigs, and that was about it. And I remember like the formation, the first band, we were together for about like a year and a half, and then the second band was about like 6 months.
Okay, and so you mentioned that there's a very popular genre in Brazil. We won't say it's the only genre, but it's the most popular. Do you feel like the style and genre of music that you were trying to create is why it was difficult for you to get shows? Or are you kind of bringing that kind of genre along with you? Tell me a little bit about your influences and how that had a play in that music scene.
So that's a good question. About the band that like when I had the band in Brazil, it was about like pop rock, you know. So it was like completely different than what people used to hear and still like hear like nowadays. And I would say because I really like hip hop, you know, and it was like one of the genres that I never stopped listening to. So always on the go, I had like at least 3 4 5 songs, you know, like in a row, like hip hop, and then I would have also some other genres because I love music in general. You know, I kind of feel like it's awesome just to have kind of like some not knowledge, but like knowing the songs that people listen to, and then you can also incorporate like those vibes into like my music that I produce nowadays, I create nowadays. And yeah, so my background is basically in pop rock, but as I said, hip hop is also like it's always been in my blood. And hip hop speaking, I would say one of the bands that I really really like to listen to, it's called SNJ. And we also have there's another one that I always listen. It's called RZO. They have a song called it's peace, like it's within yourself peace, something like that. Because it's hard for me to translate it like from Portuguese to English because sometimes it doesn't make sense at all.
Let's move forward a little bit. Tell me about the pop rock style music that you're making now. Now that you're in a scene that's able to accommodate that and thrives on that, give me some information about what your project is.
I see. No, like pop rock, it was the bands in Brazil. Like right now, I make hip hop.
I see, I see. My mistake. But
Yeah. Oh, no,
still,
you're good.
same question though. Tell me about how you've been able to integrate that into the Minneapolis music scene because there's a huge hip hop music scene here as well.
Yeah, it is kind of funny because I don't know, some like, you know, don't get me wrong, please. But I kind of feel like sometimes it is hard for me to get like booked and just like try to make connections in the hip hop scene in Minneapolis because I kind of feel like, of course, I'm bringing something different. So I kind of feel people kind of, you know, look down to me, and it's kind of like, I don't know, sometimes I kind of feel like there is some envious, you know, like some jealousy in the scene, but you know, it's nothing I can do. You know, I'm just like trying to bring myself. You know, I know I can offer, um, like I don't know. I think kind of like if people came together, Minneapolis would have like one of the best and the dopest like hip hop scenes in the Midwest. You know, but I kind of I don't know. It's just like the ones artists I came across, they were kind of feel like, oh man, you were not even like from the cities, you know. It's like you don't even like rap in English, so people are not interested, stuff like that. And you know, it's kind of like for me, it makes me sad a little bit because I don't know. As I said, if everybody came together, the scene would be really really dope because there's like a lot of artists that could come together and put out like dope shows.
So do you feel like you've encountered a bit of like gatekeeping, being a transplant into the music scene?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, that's 100%.
Okay, that's unfortunate. I mean, I guess I can understand where that would come from, but yeah, that is unfortunate. I think you're right. Where if people could come together and be more inclusive, then there would be a better music scene. Absolutely.
And it's not like only on hip hop scene, it's like everywhere, but like hip hop speaking, yeah, unfortunately, like don't get me wrong, I've met so many amazing people, in the scene, and that's what I'm saying, like coming together, because these people that I've met, we've like put out shows that, of course we didn't have like full house and everything, but like the vibe, the atmosphere, it was like completely something that I personally never experienced.
Sure. Well, so you've obviously been able to contribute and be a part of the local hip hop scene. So tell me about what your project is. Tell me about the type of material that you make and what your songs are about.
My music focus on, like mental health, spirituality, and also healing, because um as I said before, I started like writing hip hop when I hit like the rock bottom in life, and I was like, you know what, I gotta just, try to bring like songs that can uh the words like all right, so the word is like to inspire people, to kind of like help people to uh don't like to not think that just because they are where they are at and things are not happening the way they want it, that it's like the end of, like that could be like the end of like their lives or everything, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, all right, man, you go through stuff and that's okay. Tomorrow's gonna be a different day. It's gonna be a brand new day. You can, make better choices. You can do stuff, to help yourself, and of course everything goes with your well-being. If you are doing well, things will get better.
Sure,
And also
absolutely.
like, the spirituality part is more about like, just having faith in something. Just pick something you want to believe, and that's it. Because like I grew up in a Catholic church, and the God that people kind of like have the picture, it's not the same for me nowadays, because I have like totally different understanding. I have like totally different experience in life, and if you believe that there's something bigger out there, then you will start like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. So that's what I'm trying like to bring and incorporate in my music, because I believe there is so many people out there not doing well, and I believe that my music can come and help them go through whatever they're going through, whether it's financial situation, whether it's like relationship, or, you know, just, I don't know, like addiction and whatever like troubles people go through every day, and I strongly believe that my music can make impact, a big impact in their lives. And that's what I held on, like I hold on, and that's what I've been trying to create more music. If you take a look at all of my songs and lyrics, like there is no bad words, there's like no, negativity, like anything, because I just want to bring positivity, because I learned that you get whatever you consume. If you consume negativity, you will get negativity. If you consume positivity, that's what you get. So I always try to listen to songs that don't say like bad things about women. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of felt like some different, like positive changes in my life.
Okay, so let's talk about where this is going for you. Where do you want to see like your music and your artistry at in like 5 or 10 years?
Oh, all right. So I of course wanna in 5-10 years I wanna be living off of my music, of my art. What I'm saying is, just doing shows often. Um yeah, and then just helping people, yeah, just I don't know, just living the dream, just like making all the dreams come true. And yeah, my next project is gonna be, it's called Phases, and there will like feature 6 tracks, and it's all about like healing, and
Okay. And do you have any shows coming up?
yes, I have one show. My next show is gonna be on Saturday now, so I think it's the 6th, for the Greenway Glow Art Festival in Minneapolis, and I'll be performing at a beer garden main stage at Ivy Building for Arts. And then my next one is gonna be on the 13th in Fargo at Parashigo, and then it's gonna be like Darko and Friends, and then we go on in 3 artists from Minnesota, and then there's 3 another artists is in Fargo. So it's like 3 local from Minnesota and 3 local from Fargo.
Awesome. That's great. You're finding a way to make it happen. That's awesome. Well, where can people find you and follow you for shows and check out your music and stuff?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram. This is like the only social media I have for DSantos, and I'm go by at D.Santos official. And then on my Instagram, you can find the link, for my Linktree page. And there's like my email. There is, just contact me on Instagram. That's going to be like much easier. And I'll definitely get back to you.
All right, perfect. So I always like to give the person I'm interviewing the opportunity to put out their last word. So what's a message that you have that you want other people to hear?
Let's stop all this, BS going on the world right now. I think we can definitely make a better place to live, not only for ourselves, but for our kids, for, our grandkids, grandkids, everyone. I think what is missing for us humans, it's love. I think we need like to love each other more, because there's so many hateful things like going on. I'm a preschool teacher, and last week we had like the person shooting in Minneapolis. That was like really devastating. And I think like if people put themselves on other people's shoes, I think we could have like more compassion. We could treat each other better, because we are more than just the outside. We are more than just hate. I think what is missing is everyone treat each other better, with more love, caring more for others, and patience too.